Well, good morning. This is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems, and I thought I'd just check in. I'm out walking my dog Timber. He's out there somewhere. Oh, there he is. And just yesterday, on that tree right behind me, there were two bald eagles perched there, just incredibly majestic. There's a family that lives nearby. But it's spring of 2022. Now, you've heard that old mantra that says, you're not defined by what happens to you. You're defined by how you deal with what happens to you, which is pretty powerful. And I'm saying that in this context because it was 2 years ago, pretty much right now, when we went into 15 days to flatten the curve. What a debacle. And I remember vividly being at the airport and being called back because the event I was flying to in New York was canceled. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so I've got a couple of weeks, I can sleep in, spend more time with my family and my dogs, and we'll just get back to normal. And in fact, just up there, I started hiking with Timber just above the vineyards. And I'm mentioning that because we started coming across these hand-sized rocks that were being painted by kids with inspirational sayings on them. And they were kind of cool. And then lo and behold, this morning, what do I find? A rock painted. And on that rock it says, I can only control me. It's great advice. So, again, it's spring. And I'm reminded of a great book I was introduced to by Rohn called The Seasons of Life, where he essentially says, in the spring, it's when we plant. It's a season of renewal. And then in the summer, we tend to what we've planted and prune where necessary. It's a great metaphor. And then the fall, the autumn harvest. And we reap what we've sown, and then of course we prepare for winter. And that's the way it's always been. It's the way it'll always be. Now, of course, some winters are milder than others, and some are more severe. And I would look back on the last 2 years as pretty much a bizarre winter. So, you might know, I know, some people that were absolutely devastated by this last 2 years. And there are many forgotten voices and people who are overlooked because they were overcome by that last 2 years. And then, of course, we all know people who were able to overcome it. And there were many silver linings. And I said to a friend yesterday, I mean, if God smiled down on you, I'm sure you have immense gratitude. But let's just keep it all in perspective, because disruptions and disorientations, they can be heavy, but they can serve us. Now, I personally have a feeling of a renaissance around the corner. And so many things that I think have been suppressed and throttled, I think are going to be unshackled and liberated. And I would like to think, and this is just a feeling, a sense that I have, that we're on the verge of something very, very special. And on the other side, I think we might enter into a period where it might be the greatest time in human history. But in the meantime, let's invest the past into the future. Let's embrace the seasons of life. And I highly recommend that book, by the way. Just essential, easy reading, just to give some proportion and context to what we go through and what we get from and how we're defined. Okay, so it's early. I'm barely awake, but gotta go find timber, head off to the office. But in the meantime, thanks for watching. This is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Make it a great day. Bye for now.